the Benin Kingdom. An oracle was consulted which advised him to offer sacrifices, including human sacrifice. Queen Eden offered to be buried alive as a human sacrifice to bring back peace and stability to the Benin Kingdom and to restore respect from her husband, from the subject, Oba Ewekbai. She is honored and reserved for her sacrifice for peace, and she said,
Walamogu, my good people, the best sacrifice to make for world peace is self-sacrifice. The best way to demonstrate patriotism is to place the interests of our nation above religious, ethnic, political, and parochial interests. Today, let us all make sacrifices individually for the peace and stability of our nation. Oba Tope! Oba Tope! Oba Tope!
Was the first premier of the Western region between 1954 to 1959. He was a leader of opposition in the Federal House of Assembly in 1960. In 1952, Awolowo's Action Group AD Party formed the government of the Western region. He became the Minister of Local Government and leader of government business. He led the region's team to the Pre-Independence National Conference, both in London and Lagos, which collectively ushered Nigerians' independence. Chief Obafemi Awolowo was awarded the Grand Commander-in-Chief of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, GCFR, in 1983. Just like most Nigerian patriots, Chief Obafemi Awolowo rose from humble beginnings. He attended a village school and later Wesley College in Ibadan. He studied locally to pass the Bachelor of Commerce degree examination before traveling abroad for his law degree. He died in 1987, leaving a legacy of unity, equal right, and justice. He is a nationalist to the core, a great elder statesman who fought for his people's independence, and he said,
Broadly speaking, we originate from common stock. That in any event, our political and cultural association have been on such long standing to make us look upon one another as close relations. And above all, we are Nigerians, whom both nature and constitution are joined together. It is within our power to stay together. Eshe Dadao.
Zik of Africa, first indigenous Governor General of the Federation, 1960 to 1963. He was born on November 16, 1904 in Zengru, Niger State. He received his early education in different parts of Nigeria before obtaining a higher degree at Howard University, Washington, D.C., USA. In 1963, when Nigeria gained a Republican status, Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe was the first president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The OLA was a member of the Western House of Representatives between 1952 and 1953 and a member of the Eastern House of Representatives between 1954 and 1959. During this period, he became the Premier for the Eastern Nigeria.
Prior to this, he became the Premier of Eastern Nigeria. He was a nationalist to the core. He was the regional minister of the local government, followed by he was appointed the Minister of Inter Affairs between 1955 to 1959. From 1959 to 1960, he became the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria and also a member of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. He was a founding member of the National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon. He was the National Council of Nigeria and Cameroon. The OLE was the first Secretariat General of the party in 1944 and later became the president in 1946. The Owoli attended the Lagos and London conferences that led to the independence of Nigeria. Until his death, he played a vital role to good governor, and he said,
Kwenu! Kwenu! My good people, as a politician and a friend to my fellow colleagues, I'll say this to them. Follow the rules of the game. I was awe-stricken and bowed my head in humility to those who died, that others may live and enjoy the good things of the earth. Faultlessly and fearlessly, and at the same time confronts any person without becoming apologetic for taking a stand on any public issues. Oh God, who gave Marcus Garvey the courage to stand for what is right, and inspired Kweki Agri to open the eyes of the blind to see the great opportunities available to the African children, and grant me the privilege to be zealous and discreet in seeking for knowledge in the lands of James Arthur Garfield. If Garvey could dream one God, one aim and one destiny in America and influence his contemporaries, and if Agri could dream that nothing but the very best was good enough for Africa, then not even death will stop me from reaching America in order to make my dreams come true. Cha cha cha, I go Kwenu! Kwenu! Kwenu!
District at Lere. He started his early education at Koramic School in Bauchi and later returned to teach in Bauchi Middle School. In 1944, along with a few learned teachers from the north, he was chosen to go and study abroad for a year at the University of London's Institute of Education.
Upon returning to Nigeria, he became an inspector of schools for the colonial administration and later entered politics. In 1946, he was elected to the colony's Northern House of Assembly and to the Legislative Assembly in 1947. As a legislator, he was a vocal advocate of the rights of Northern Nigeria, and together with Alhaji Ahmed Bello, who held the title of Sarana of Sokoto, they formed the Northern People's Congress, and he said, religious beliefs, and to affirm the basic principles of his particular creed. It may be that when we hear the world crying out for peace, we may receive an inspiration to deal with these intractable problems and to be able to really devote all our resources into the advancement of mankind by applying those internal truths which will inevitably persist long after we ourselves are utterly forgotten. Nangode!
To thank you all and tell the students well done. I just want you to know that the school remains very important to me because Igbenedion Education Center was my foundation to making me who I am today. So I want to use myself and tell you that students all be very encouraged because I can tell you that I would never have gotten to the House of Representatives if not for passing through Igbenedion Education Center. As some of you may have known, I actually happen to have been in school in England. So I was born in the UK, went to primary school in the UK, secondary school in the UK, and at some point in time in secondary school, I said, you know what? I don't want to be in England anymore. I want to come to Nigeria. And people were doing the opposite. Everyone wanted to be in England, and there was I saying I wanted to be in Nigeria. And one of the things that propelled my decision was Martin Luther King Day. I was so jealous I would sit down at an English boarding school where at that point in time there was still apartheid in South Africa and Nelson Mandela was still behind bars and there was still a lot of racism. And I thought that I would feel better at home than in the UK. And therefore, I wrote several letters incessantly to my parents saying, look, I want to be back home. And that was a life-turning and changing decision for me, because that was my own integration and understanding much better how Edo State, Nigeria as a whole, and Africa operates. And like I said, it's on that ground I was tough enough to weather the storms and decide to emerge as the first female House of Representative member representing the good people of Edo State, I can say, particularly of their federal constituency today, and emerging as the youngest female House of Representative member in Nigeria. So I give thanks to Igbenedion Education Center, and I want to tell you all, the students here, especially the girls, to encourage you that anything a man can do, a woman can do too. And if not, even better. And never give up. You know, some of you know of my political journey. Today, we gather to honor the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., a man whose courage, conviction, and unwavering commitment to justice changed the course of history. Dr. King reminded the world that true leadership is rooted in service, that progress is achieved through unity, and that justice must never be delayed by fear or indifference. His dream was not just about equality in words, equality in opportunity, dignity, and access to better life for all. As we reflect on his message, let us remember that the work of justice is ongoing. Each generation is called to carry the torch by standing for what is right, by lifting the voices of the marginalized, by choosing love over hate, dialogue over division, and hope over despair. Today, we recommit ourselves to building communities that reflect Dr. King's dream. Communities where fairness prevails, peace is pursued, and every individual is valued. As we celebrate not just Dr. Martin Luther King, but Queen Idia, other great leaders who shared our world, like Queen Idia, whose bravery protected her people, Alhaji Tafawa Balewa, and Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe, who helped build the foundation of our nation, Chief Obafemi Awolowo, a champion of education and progress, Dr. Nelson Mandela, who taught us forgiveness and resilience, Rosa Louise Macaulay Parks, whose quiet courage sparked a movement, and Ngozi Nkonjo-Iweala, who shows us that integrity, intelligence, and excellence can shape global leadership. To the students of Igbenedion Education Center, you are the next chapter of this great story. These leaders will want students like you, learning, dreaming, and preparing for their moment. Your education is your power, your character is your strength, and your courage will define your future. Believe in yourselves, work hard, stand for truth, be kind, and never forget that leadership begins with service. As we have honored these great men and women today, may you be inspired to dream boldly, act justly, and lead with integrity. Thank you, and happy Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And I must also thank and remember the chairman of this great institution, my father, His Excellency Sir Chief Dr. Gabriel Osawaru Igbenedion, the Isama of Benin Kingdom, who, of course, is here with us in spirit. And I know that he is also a man with a great legacy who we all look up to and appreciate. And I just want to say, well done, children, once again. Thank you. God bless you all. Oba Tokpe.
Kuka
Okonjo was the Obi of the Obahi royal family in Ogwashi Ukwu, Nigeria. She briefly attended Queen's School in Enugu and was later relocated to live and further her studies in St. Anne's Moly School in Ibadan in Oyo State. She later moved to the USA to study at the Harvard University, where she learned economics and graduated magna cum laude in an AB in economics in 1976. She now has she was later the #2 positioned directing managing. She later rose at Washington DC World Bank as the #2 position manager. She said,
"And investing in young girls, catching them upstream is even smarter economics. Educating our young girls is the best way for Nigeria's foundation, development, and growth. When I find problems, I always try to find solutions. The best way to help Nigeria is by helping them stand on their feet, and the best way to do that is by creating job opportunity."
They were treated unfairly and did not have the same rights as black people. On public buses, black people were forced to sit at the back and give up their seats to white passengers. But on December 1st, 1955, on her way back from work as a seamstress, she refused to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. She was arrested for this, but she stood to her right. Rosa Parks teaches us to be courageous and brave. Today we celebrate her not because she was disobedient, but because she fought for what was right.
But I said to myself, I could not come here and see what had happened in Selma, him the only love. However, I came here today with a hope and a faith.
Congress Party, Auschwitz contested its segregation imposed by the whites on the indigenous black population. Mandela and his followers educated the world to recognize and to oppose the intolerable situation in his country, where apartheid was the official government policy. He was put in prison and held captive on Robben Island for 27 years, but his spirit was never broken and inspired his followers to continue the struggle.
In 1990, Mandela was released from prison by President F.W. de Klerk, with whom he established a multiracial government in South Africa by becoming the first black president in South Africa in 1994. He received the Nobel Peace Prize in 1993 in conjunction with F.W. de Klerk. He was a meme maker and told a story of freedom to his people and gave hope not just to a nation, but to the world. He said,
"As a representative to the millions of our people who dared rise up against the social system whose very essence is war, violence, racism, oppression, and repression, these countless human beings had the nobility of spirit to stand in the path of tyranny and injustice, recognize that an injury to one is an injury to all, and acted together in defense of justice and a common human decency. Because of their courage and persistence, we can today set the date when humanity will join together to celebrate an outstanding human victory to our century over racism and white minority rules. Let future generations never say that indifference, cynicism, or selfishness cause us to fail the ideas of humanism, and let our collective striving prove that Martin Luther King Jr. was right when he said humanity is no longer bound to racism and war. And let our collective efforts affirm the enduring value that genuine brotherhood and peace be more precious than silver or gold. Amanla! Amanla! Amanla!
Today we celebrate the life and time of Martin Luther King, who is highly famous with his "I Have a Dream" speech. As a government, we are happy, to affiliate with the Global Education Center. It's synonymous with excellence. I think in the coming days, we are also going to be inviting Her Excellency to join us, as a distinguished personality, where we are going to be awarding you. Let me give you that expo in advance for all yourself and Daddy have been doing in the education space. So thank you very much, and a round of applause for our mother and of course our father. Very simple. I have a dream. Let me quote from one of his popular lines. I have a dream that one day we will not be judged by the color of our skin, but by the content of our character. And in Edo State, we are building our students both in learning and in character. And I want to implore you, my students, on this special day, to ensure that you do not allow your dreams to die. As a government, we continually support you, and of course, we have utmost confidence in our mother and the Behavioral Education Center continually instill discipline in all our students, so we can have fully baked students, both in terms of knowledge and in terms of character. In the world today, we have a lot of vices. You go on the internet, you see a lot of things, and sometimes it can be very disheartening. But with people, like the Behavioral family, people like the governor of Edo State, Ramondo Bello, constantly developing policies and programs, we believe that the necessary tools we need to shape you and to shape your character is available to you. So please and please, as godly children, as children with dreams, avoid anything that can cut short that dream of yours. You see future doctors, future lawyers, future commissioners, future House of Representative members, future senators, and future captains of industries like Sir Dr. Gabriel Shawaru Benedict. It is possible, it is doable, it all depends on what you do today. A man with a dream, but without the strategy and without the plan, is only daydreaming. So this morning, or this afternoon rather, I encourage you all, to continually dream big and work each day, to ensure that you make plans to achieve your dreams. So our parents here, we want to thank you, we want to salute you, for helping our children. As they say, it takes a whole village to raise a child. So we want to thank you for standing in the gap of these young children, for helping them nurture their dreams, and for not allowing their dreams to die. We want to implore you not to relent, but to continually improve and help the children to grow and become future leaders of tomorrow. It's achievable. I went somewhere 2 weeks ago, and I was talking to some parents. I said, enough of the blame game. So many people in the world, you try to blame the government. As a parent, you have a significant role to play in the life of every child. When I was growing up as a young boy, you dare not stay outside the house until 9 p.m. because you go back home for the evening devotion. In the morning, you must gather in the sitting room of my dad for the morning devotion. Let's go back to those good old days. Let's read the scriptures to our children. Let's encourage our children to pray. Let's encourage our children to read and avoid bad company. Because as I will always say, the company you keep as a child determines what accompanies you. So separate yourself from friends that will not help you to achieve your dreams, and go close to the one that will help you in studying and reading your books, burning the midnight candles, because that's the only pathway to progress. So I salute you, my children. I salute you, all the parents. I salute all the parents here present. I encourage you to continue in that light, to nurture these children, so that at the end of the day, as they say, if you do not nurture a child at his young age, it will temper your old age. May these children not temper our old age in Jesus' name. Amen. So collectively, let's develop policies, programs, plans to help these children achieve their dreams, so they can be notable in society and lead this country to the desired height. Martin Luther has done his time. He has finished his race. We are here now. We should do our bits, we should run our race, and let's finish well. Thank you very much once again. I love to serve Dr. Gabriel Lusawa with Millennium, our mother, Lady Sherry, and the Millennium family. We love you from the Ministry of Education. We love you from the Edo State government angle, and we wish you the best of today and the best of tomorrow. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
We want our children to be encouraged, and we're happy you're here today, and that encouragement is going to start from now. Thank you. I know too that you're not just the Commissioner for Education for the government schools, but also the private schools. And we want to see more of you. We want to also benefit from His Excellency, our own Governor, Distinguished Senator Monday Okpebholo, because anything that we do also reflects what Edo State does. The achievements of the children at Igbenedion Education Center are not just our achievements, they're your achievements, they're our governor's achievements. And for that very reason, we'd like us to have a better rapport. And that is why when they were choosing the special guest of honor, I told my mom, I said, no, it has to be you. And I want to salute you for everything you have done in the education sector in Edo State. You've made us indeed very proud. You've put Edo State on the map in terms of the educational strides that you have made, which have been so great in such a short space of time. And you could only do this with the help of our governor. So, Bobo, I heard somebody. I'm not trying to be political, but you already know. So I just want to thank you and say Igbenedion Education Center is home to you. Please encourage our students as well. And anything that you can do to assist us, please don't hesitate. I'm just a phone call away. Mommy is a phone call away. She's your mommy too. And thank you for the very apt speech that was delivered here, which is very meaningful, because right beside you, you have Pastor Angela Igbenedion, who doesn't forget fellowship in her house. So I'm sure she appreciated those words. And it's good to know too that you were brought up with these very important Christian values, which of course, I'm sure, has led you thus far. So I just want to say a big thank you once again on behalf of the Igbenedion Education Center.
Thank you and appreciate science at the national level. On behalf of the Governor of Edo State, we will give to you the sum of 500,000. Congratulations, Master Charles. Give him 600,000.
When fear tries to close your eyes, when justice softly cries, when your heart knows wrong from right, that is the moment. Stand and fight. Small good deed or bold breakstone, a helping heart and outstretched hand. For every choice, both dark and light, shapes are roared by what we choose as right. So rise with truth, be firm, be strong, even when the path goes wrong. For history is reading bright by those who knew the time was right. Thank you.
Eyes of night. Not tomorrow. No one fears subside. But now, we choose where we stand and abide. And the truth grows stronger when we do not hide. The time is right to do what is right. To lead the weak into hopeful life. With steady heart and conscience clear. With an act of love, not doubt of fear. Thank you. Advocated violent retaliation. This non-violent movement spread across the South. In 1963, the spotlight shifted to Birmingham, Alabama. To those in power, he said, "We will not hate you, but we cannot obey your evil laws." His motto was, "I love every man. Every man is my brother." When attacked by dogs and water hydrants, he was daunted and maintained the notion that water can only drown you physically, it cannot drown your spirit. In times of adversity, he advised his fellow blacks, keep moving. If you cannot run, walk. If you cannot walk, crawl, but never give up.
We shall overcome. We shall overcome someday.
What he referred to as the iron feet of oppression, they will say enough is enough and fight back. In rising up against oppression, he advocated non-violence and passive resistance. He insisted that violence was self-defeating and he who lives by the sword dies by the sword.
This is the light of mine. I'm gonna let it shine. This is the light of
Like Christ, he asked us to love our enemies as ourselves. Dr. King was an optimist and a futurist. Even in the greatest adversity, he never despaired about the future. He said, "We'll win our freedom because it is a sacred heritage of our people, and it is the eternal will of the Almighty God." Dr. King spoke against injustice. I know you ask yourself today, how long, however difficult the moment, however frustrating the hour, it won't be long, because truth and trust will rise again. How long? Not long, because no one lives forever. How long? Not long, because you shall reap what you sow. How long? Not long, because you have seen the glory of the Lord. His truth is marching on. He has sounded forth the trumpet that shall never call for retreat. He's setting out the hearts of men on his judgment seat. Oh, be swift, my soul, to answer him. Be chivalrous, our God is marching on.
future.
happy to join with you today. 50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. This momentous decree came as a great beacon light of hope to millions of Negro slaves who had been seared in the flames of withering injustice. It came as a joyous daybreak to end the long nights of their captivity. But 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, the life of the Negro is still sadly crippled by the manacles of segregation and the chains of discrimination. 100 years later, the Negro lives on a lowly island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. 100 years later, the Negro still languishes in the corners of American society and finds himself in exile in his own land. So we've come here today to dramatize a shameful condition. In a sense, we have come to our nation's capital to cash a check. When the architect of our great republic wrote the magnificent words of the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, they were signing a promissory note to which every American was to fall heir. This note was a promise that all men, yes, black men as well as white men, would be guaranteed the undeniable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It is obvious today that America has defaulted on its promissory notes insofar as her citizens of color are concerned. Instead of honoring this sacred obligation, America has given the Negro people a bad check, a check which has come back marked insufficient funds. But we refuse to believe that there are insufficient funds in the great vault of opportunity of this nation. And so we've come here today to cash this check. A check that will give us upon demand the riches of freedom and the security of justice. 1963 is not an end but a beginning. And those who hope that the Negro needed to blow off steam and will now be content will have a rude awakening if the nation returns back to business as usual. There will neither be rest nor tranquility in America until the Negro is granted his citizenship rights. The whirlwinds of revolt will continue to shake the foundation of our nation until the bright day of justice emerges. But there is something I must say to my people who stand on the warm threshold which leads to the palace of justice. In the process of gaining our rightful place, we must not be guilty of wrongful deeds. Let us not seek to satisfy our thirst for freedom by drinking from the cup of bitterness and hatred. Again and again, we must rise to the majestic heights of meeting physical force with soul force. So I say to you today, my friends, that even though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. That one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day down in Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of oppression, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, will one day be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day down in Alabama, with his vicious racist and its governor having his lips dripping with the words of interposition and nullification, that one day right there in Alabama, little black boys and black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as brothers and sisters. I have a dream today. I have a dream that one day every valley shall be exalted Every hill and mountain shall be made low, the rough places made plain, and the crooked places made straight. And the glory of God will be revealed, and all flesh shall see it together. This is our hope, this is my faith. This is the faith that I go back to the south with. With this faith, we'll be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. With this faith, we'll be able to transform the jangling discord of our nation into a beautiful symphony of brotherhood. With this faith, we'll be able to work together, to pray together, to struggle together, to go to jail together, to stand up for freedom together, knowing that we will be free one day. This should be the day when all of God's children will be able to sing with new meaning. My country, it is of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of the pilgrim spy, from every mountainside, let freedom reign. And if America is to become a great nation, this must become true. So let freedom reign from the prodigious heats of the hemisphere. Let freedom reign from the mighty mountains of New York. Let freedom reign from the snow-capped rock rivers of Colorado. Let freedom reign from the hiking and the journeys of Pennsylvania. Let freedom reign from every hill and molehill of Mississippi, from every mountainside. Let freedom reign. And when this happens, when we allow freedom to reign, we let it reign from every village and hamlet, from every state and city. We will be able to speed up that day when all of God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Catholic and Protestants, will be able to join hands and sing in the old Negro spiritual. Free at last, thank God Almighty. We are free at last.
The reenactment of that powerful speech, I have a dream. I have a dream that Nigeria will be better. I have a dream that this country will be great.
For the cutting of the cake, I go with L U T H E N I. Congratulations.
ITV, certainly the best. What does one do with a bunch of memories? Laugh about them, cry over them, or capture them? I know what I'll do with such memories. I'll showcase those memories. Yes, I will show them to the world. I will flaunt those memories. Showcase that marriage ceremony of yours. Burial ceremony? Yes, let the people know that you buried your person in a grand style. Thanksgiving, ordination, baby dedication, housewarming party, and lots more on your entertainment program, Memories, on independent television. Every Sunday, remember, for your event to be considered thick and classic, then it has to be on Memories. Memories.
The threat of global warming is real. You have seen the destruction of lives and property as a result of incessant flooding. Make the environment a conducive place for all to live in. Stop polluting the environment. Protect the environment today. This message is brought to you courtesy Independent Television and Radio.
ITV, certainly the best.
Thank you very much for joining us on the program, Healthy Living. What is the kidney?
The kidney is an excretory organ in the body, which is for metabolism.
Tuberculosis affects many organs in the body, but the common ones it usually affects is the lungs.
Epilepsy is a neurological problem.
Okay.
It is an injury in the brain which causes someone to begin to convulse, to go into fits.
It is curable, but the cure is a long-term thing.
If you eat well and avoid those risk factors that will make your immunity to be down, then the risk of contracting tuberculosis will be reduced.
If you're healthy, then you're wealthy.
On ITV, I am Caroline Okonji. Insecurity is now an everyday discussion, by many citizens, if not virtually most talked about in the country. And we're going to be looking at Edo State, yes, putting Edo State into consideration, the measures with which the current administration is using to tackle insecurity in the state, putting into consideration the economic aspect of it. Will insecurity be improved enough for the people to still feel the economic gains once again in Edo State? That's basically what we're going to be looking at today on Viewpoint. So let's go talk to a few of our respondents and hear what they have to say about the method, the patterns, the approaches being used by the current administration to tackle insecurity in Edo State.
One of the private and constitutional rights of every state for all to benefit from a better security. We can remember very vividly that every democratic elected governor took a sacred oath on the altars with the Bible to defend the law and the sanctities of the constitution to protect life and property. And that validates his constitutional right to make sure that the state and the entire general are being safe and being secured. But now what we are seeing, the problem in Edo State, because just of recent, about 2 months ago, I was in an embassy. Then somebody gave me a call. I spoke back in Benin. I didn't know somebody was watching me. So 2 people just walked to me immediately. 2 white men with 1 guy. They said, "Are you from Benin?" I said, "Yes." Instantly, the white man just walked me to me and said, "Listen, we have been in Benin for the past 1 month. We are trying to bring investment to Benin City." I said, "Same, but we have been to all the localities. What kind of investment?" He said, "They're trying to bring, go to houses, development, and so on." He said, "There have been to about 16 by 18 local government in Edo State." He said, "All the information given to them or breakage of the law." He said, "Legal criminality." I said, "What?" He said, "We are moving out from Edo State. We are going to Ghana." He said, "Well, I'm seeing you as a bishop. See if you ever said to the governor, talk to him." So that has been in my mind for the past 2 months. So when you came with this security, number 1, the 6th Assembly of Edo State under the previous administration, when I saw the issue of kidnapping in Edo State, criminality in Edo State, unrest in Edo State, the 6th Assembly passed a law. Number 1, they go into the root. What was the cause? For a better city, we got it for a better community, a better villages. They found that CDA, this CDA, Community Development Association, a lot of crime was not generated from the village. The Edo State Assembly sat down and found out what the people to cover the crime. They enact law. They banned CDA in every communities. And this time around, the government considered some group of people who were in government cycle, who have something to lose, to work in the government, civil servant, to manage this area. And we have peace in Edo State. For now, as of today, now we have psychological kidnappers in all the 18 local governments in Edo State. People are crying and so on. So if the Edo State government will do something very, very, very strategic, it must constitution. Look at the law. This law was passed in the 6th Assembly. The law of protections of life and property. That no man, no traditional ruler, no under these guys, no an agent can forcefully collect somebody, extort anybody, or intimidate anybody. Kidnap, what's an abduction? Abduction is the ability for you to kidnap somebody that by gun or something, take them inside the boat and mentally torture the people, and they start they start money from there, stop money from there. And today, all over the 18 local government in Edo States, 1 and 2 wards, we are experiencing psychological abduction, where people can no longer invest. Listen, when the law fall, what do we return? In any city, any community, in a country, nation, where criminality are not punished, and on that, something has stepped up to see how they oppress. So now, if they do see government, the approach they are using is very kinetic. But let me tell you something. If they go, this Edo State government must fight this thing to the root. It's simple. Step by people toes by voting, enacting the law, execute the law. Edo State, as of Edo State, is receiving 900 million monthly for security. Delta is receiving 2 billion for security. Kogi State is receiving 400 million for security. Ondo State is receiving 600 million for security. Now, if these 4 people unite together with this adjacent neighbor, how much does it cost to get into anti-missile, go into a drone? How much does it cost in Ukraine? $300. Now 100 million multiply in the conversion in dollars, it's about $657,000. Before the government, if the government will be truthful in accountability to security, if it involves just only $100,000 on anti-drone missile, I'm telling you, Edo State to be secure. The populations of Israel is 10.2 million. Edo State population is about 5.2 million. And Israel is fighting war with over 20 nations for protection. We don't need this kinetic system. What we need to do, the Edo State government need to do, build an AI generative office where the drone will be on air across the 1 and 2 ward. While in the command center, the drone system, right now, the air system, it generates and detects every criminal, detect everything. From that place, release, it shoot on the air. So if the state governor mean well, he must step on traditional truths. He must step on the appearance of the people. What happened to the law? The law at the kidnapping is yes, good for punishment. The law at the court is good. Let Edo State governments. We are also here to call the Edo State Commissioner of the man in charge, Attorney General, Professor Roland Itoya from Auchi, to please, he should constitute a very intellectual team and let them enforce this law. Let them disband this Okaigele and Okaivo. These are the activities they are carrying out in the village. If security are well in the village, the security here in the town will be intact. If they can disband this Okaigele activity has reformed into CDA, where they intimidate people. You know what it means for you to kidnap somebody, you mentally torture the person and you extort the person. Now all over the 18 local government, this law are not being enforced. So Edo State government, if it must cure insecurity, enforce this law back again. It reign under previous administration and we have peace in Edo State. And let the money that being budgeted for security, now 100 million, please make use of that money. Go into AI technology. The method you are using now, this kinetic war will not stop them. And the monitoring of the property listing. I love if a victim being caught and the zone of that house, there has to be demolished. I cannot be in abroad, my children in abroad. Labor me somebody tenant in my house or no to me. And because it's in my house, you cut me the house and you demolish. That is an archaic. We are not in the monarchical system. This is democracy where law work. That is why those government must defend the oath or the sanctity to protect life and property. If you are demolishing it in the name of somebody who was in my house, at least that the law is wrong. Please, if you can go on AI technology, I'm telling you, Edo State is a place of security. But we appreciate you for what you've done last year, for making us to sleep peacefully. You have cut it over.
I want to say that when we came on board, under the leadership of Distinguished Senator Monday, we met a very serious security challenges. Cultist activities, cult-related activities took hold of the state. A lot of young men were killed. They were killing themselves, basically. And unfortunately, innocent people also died in the process of these clashes. The governor was very sad and he took the battle to them. And you are aware of all the measures he took to deal with the court-related activities in the state. And the carrots and stick approach was a strategy that he used. What he did was to ensure that he advised all the groups to lay down their arms voluntarily. Otherwise, there will be consequences. And he also ensured that any premises that was used by court people, whoever is practicing court activities, those houses will be demolished in line with the laws that was enacted at that time. So that challenge he took decisively, courageous steps. Another challenge came up, and that is the kidnapping related activities. And that also was a challenge that the governor faced brutally. Basically because, of course, when you have security challenges, it affects the economy, it affects the social life of the people, it affects the psychology of the people itself. Because security is a thing of the mind. If the people feel they are not safe, then there's already a security challenge. And that the governor, in his way of doing things, they took up the challenge. And he has done this again, and by way of creating a separate court to deal with court-related activities, as well as kidnapping related activities. This is basically to accelerate and fast-track justice dispensation. And that is why those courts were created. And he also said that he would sign death warrants. Basically, that is to show the seriousness that is handling this matter. He's not taking it lightly at all. And And you can see the state today. I can tell you that the state is safe for business, is safe for investment. And I was in Italy a few weeks ago, and I told our people there that they should come home, and that Edo State is safe for business. Bring your money, come and put your money, it's safe. You will be safe as well, because the two challenges that we have, kidnapping and court-related activities, have been dealt with. I'm not saying that we must be complacent or we must not continue to do what we are doing. Where the government is very proactive. The government is very proactive. And I want to tell you that the government has spent so much on security infrastructure. Vehicles have been bought for security people, the police and other security outfits that we have in the state. And that is going very well. And I want to say very clearly, without any fear of contradiction, that yes, the security and economy, they go together. If the security is improving, of course, people will not be afraid to invest their money in that economy. They will not be afraid to go out and do business. And of course, you also have night business going on. You see, so people are not afraid to run home by 5 p.m. You see businesses being done at night, and that is that improve the economy. If that is why 24 hours economy generate more funds and improve economy more than the economy that by 4 p.m. everybody is running home. You understand? So it is imperative to know that the economy of Edo State is improving, and I know that if we can sustain this effort, the economy of this state will improve more than what you are saying. So it is to continue. Well, if you see what happened recently at Vegetable Market, where dead devil, broad daylight kidnapping took place, but the governor took it up and advised the Commissioner of Police that this culprit must be brought to book within 48 hours. And that took place, and you see what happened. They were arrested, apprehended. Even the ones around to Delta State, they were eventually arrested. So if we cannot prevent you from doing it, we'll catch you after you have done it. So the state is safe, and I can assure you that we are making progress, steadily making progress.
It's very unfortunate that we miss the point. But if by now a governor have decided to face the issue boldly, with sincerity, without political attachment, the political will to do the right thing, I think we are getting closer. One, at the time, the early 60s of the Oyenusis, where firing squad were introduced, it checkmate many things. And there was drastically reduced armed robbery and all that. But as at now, we need to be very prayerful because of political situations. Because we have seen a situation where an armed robber or kidnappers are arrested, power from above will release them. In a situation where a governor of the state will be talking, a commissioner of police will tell that he cannot take instruction from chief security of the state. So where do we go from there? A situation too where the judiciary is weakened. Where are we going from there? So it depends on our own ability. Thank God for I thank God for the initiative. If the decision to do it solely and with the fear of God, I think it will reduce certain things without the influence of powers that be both within and below. So if you can do that, not that God, because somebody is a political enemy, you go and it's not to destroy us. A way to allow people their heart to be destroyed, not houses that matters. How many houses do you know the man has? What are the houses abroad? But where we can be able to say, do the right thing. What we must find the cause of this matter? Injustice. Injustice. When you give the wrong thing to the right thing, a problem will come up. So we have to look we have to look for the cause of a problem. So what he has decided to do, for me, I welcome it on condition that it will not be politicalized, and the will to actualize without mingling life with other people. And whoever you want to choose, either to be the head of the tribunal, must be somebody that has conscience, because conscience is God in man, not society person, not a person that a judge will be seen in a party drinking and drinking. So honestly, justice should be addressed. When you address justice, crime will drop. You provide job for the people, then there will be way, and it will be very difficult for economy to bounce back. Why? The Niger. We are one of those who joined my former camp chairman, Kure, when they introduced Ruga, that we don't want Ruga. So if this thing continues, who want to go to farm? Who want to die? Nobody want to die. So unless the government itself, because they are straight by barter, most of the things are collaborated with politicians. So unless the government have to stand, and we people as a people have to rise, we cannot continue to be using our head to break coconut. We will not be able to live it. The men have to cooperate. The civil society have to come up. Where are the laborers? Where are the men and women? So it's very difficult for economy to bounce back where there are killings and no justice. So we need to pray, yes, but prayer must be backed with actions.
I want to say that the chief security officer here in Edo State is the executive governor, and so far he is doing his best. I can say there have been some relative peace in Edo State, especially since last year, with the issue that relate to court activities, killings, maiming, and what have you. The courts issue, he has been able to tackle it to some extent. Then the kidnapping, I want to say there is a great improvement as to the security in that area in Edo State. Take for example the issue that happened at the vegetable market at Airport Road. I remember vividly that day, most churches in Benin City, we all wore black to church and we were praying against this kidnapping, insecurity and all that. And of course, we heard that news and some of us were saddened. And within the shortest possible time, the suspects were arrested, they were apprehended. And with the way the governor handled that, I think that is a plus to his administration. Then looking at the issue of tenants living in houses, somehow the landlord may not know who they are. And I want to say today, most landlords are trying to check into the life of the tenants that are in their premises. And of course, when we look at it economically, most landlords now will want to evict tenants who they suspect with questionable character. And they come to we, the lawyers, to ensure that we do the right thing and the needful. Of course, with the way the governor is tackling the insecurity, I can say that as it stands, most of the lights are not working. And if we work towards that direction to ensure that the street lights are working, the traffic lights are working, I can tell you that within the shortest possible time, nightlife will be restored and economic life will bounce back very well. Especially in this side of the city where we live, the street lights are not working. Siloko Road to Ego Markets, down to Upper Siloko, Iguadolo, the street lights are not working. I think of recent around Teacher's House, we're told that a young man facilitated the street light that was installed in that area, and I think that one is still working as I'm speaking now, but that will not be enough. So if street lights are in place, the security are well equipped, the local vigilantes are well funded and equipped to collaborate with the police, we will go a long way to have our economy bouncing back very well. Again, I want to say that the issue of state police is very, very necessary, because those in the environment will also know the nook and crannies of the territory, and they will also know who comes in and who goes out. So when you have that in place, I think that will solve a lot of foreigners coming in with arms and ammunition to cause mayhem. I want to say the best is yet to come, and we ask that you do more so that we can have more peace in Edo land.
I do not know what law the governor of Edo State is applying in his demolition of houses where kidnappers or cultists are found. We see that no court order is given, no proper procedure is taken through before, when they just hear that someone who is a kidnapper was or is or a cultist was in a house, they just go and demolish the house. What is that for? Have you gone through the court process? Is there a law that empowers the governor to, on his own, demolish a house because he suspects that somebody is a kidnapper who was there? He has no right to do that at all. Mind you, we are a rules-based society, a society governed by the rule of law. If there is a law passed by the House of Assembly saying that kidnappers found in a house that property should be demolished, is the governor, the prosecutor, and the judge to finally say that that person is a kidnapper and pass judgment and execute it on his own? Is there no room for appeal? Then talking about executing kidnappers at Ring Road is laughable. What is the law that says a kidnapper or a cultist should be executed? What law is he operating? Has the House of Assembly or the National Assembly passed a law that says, and even if a court that has just been set up says that a person is a kidnapper and he should be sentenced to firing squad, let us just say that, because no law says that, it is that he should be hung till he is declared dead. I think governors should get the advice of the Attorney General and advisors before they speak. And again, a court has been set up. Let's find out that someone is a kidnapper. Does he not have right to appeal to the Court of Appeal? Does the governor think that because his court has declared that somebody is a kidnapper, he just takes the person to go and kill in Ring Road? That person has a right of appeal till his appeal is exhausted in the Supreme Court before it will be brought before him to sign his warrant. It takes procedure. I think we should, the economic system of a country, people look at it, does that country, is it a country based on the rule of law? When it becomes a rule of the thumb of a man, people will not want to invest in that kind of economy. When people see that a man can just get up and say your hotel was used by cultists while you are abroad and you don't even know, and demolishes your hard-earned money, harbor, I think people will not want to invest in such a climate.
The governor is doing quite a lot so that foreign direct investment can come back in Benin to the state once there is a level of confidence in the measure and steps the governor is taking to address the high level of insecurity in the state. I give you a typical example. Look at the dastardly event that happened at Vegetable Market the other day when a couple of youngsters, couples were kidnapped. It didn't take the governor 3 days to get them rescued and released from their abductors without paying any forms of ransom. That tells you the determination, the poise the governor has taken to address the high level of insecurity so that it can restore confidence in people that will be willing to invest in Edo, and to a very large extent, there will be expansion in the economy. It will trickle down to everybody. That's number one. And again, the level of support the governor is equally giving to the security agencies, is unheard of. It's unprecedented. That is why today the morale of the security agencies has been raised, because of the effort the governor has intentionally put in place to encourage all of them to go into it. I tell you today, across the three senatorial districts in the state, there is relative peace. Look at the high level of courtesan across the length and breadth of all tertiary institutions. To a very large extent, you agree with me that the rate with which courts operate, threatening lives, property, and mailing and killing people has drastically reduced against the backdrop of the governor's intention to establish special court to try courtists. He will equally expedite the level of jurisprudence in terms of trials and all that when it takes maybe longer period to secure justice. This isn't going to be when there are special courts established by the government, which he intends to do. These are steps he is taking to address the high level of courtesan in Edo State. Why is the governor taking this deliberate step? Because he is aware that security is a threat to economic expansion. Security is a threat to trade and business. Once there is security across the length and breadth of Edo State, the economy is down. All the sectors are shut off. Even banks will not even open. That is why the governor knows very well that for economy to bounce back, the level of insecurity has to be addressed. If market, commerce, and industries are to flourish, it is dependent on peace. So the government is really desirous in bringing peace, restoring public confidence in the government, that the government is ready and willing and able to protect lives and security, which is the primary responsibility of any responsible government, to ensure that all of us can go to bed with our two eyes closed, checking the level of insecurity.
Despite the applause that was actually given to the current administration in regards to the measures and approach being used to tackle insecurity in Edo State, citizens are still asking for more efforts and measures to be put in place in order for insecurity to be a thing of the past and citizens have opportunity to enjoy the economic aspect of life, and then again bring more investments to the country, both internationally and locally. Business can also see opportunities to thrive, as no business can thrive in a state where insecurity is dwelling. Especially the area of nightlife can also be restored. It is Viewpoints on ITV. I am Caroline Okonji.
ITV, certainly the best.
In a rare display of botanical brilliance, the palm tree defied natural norms, sprouting multiple branches that bear fruits. This rare occurrence has become a wonder to many, as experts are calling it a one-in-a-million phenomenon. Could this multiple-headed marvel hold secrets to agricultural breakthroughs, or is it simply a freak accident of nature? An agronomist with Nigeria Institute for Oil Palm Research, NIFOR Benin. The strange palm tree also raises issues of a blend of science with human interest and cultural significance for maximum impact.
The threat of global warming is real. You have seen the destruction of lives and property as a result of incessant flooding. Make the environment a conducive place for all to live in. Stop polluting the environment. Protect the environment today. This message is brought to you courtesy Independent Television and Radio.
ITV, certainly the best.
for joining us on this week's edition of the program, Icons. Icon is a program designed where we showcase individuals and personalities who have made a mark in their chosen profession. And so you learn from their story to enhance your productivity, your efficiency, your effectiveness, and your output generally. The program was designed to ensure that we give value to life from the experiences of those who are contemporaries, those who have gone ahead of us to achieve so much in the society. And I'm Sonny Duke Okosun, your host on the program. My guest is Chief Henry Iyobosa Legema, the iconic Legema, I must say. Good to have you on the program. Good to have you on the program. All right, let's look at how the industry has evolved over the years. What used to be in the days of yore, not happening anymore. But if you were to do a comparative analysis between what you used to have then and what we have today in terms of revenue streams, in terms of technology and all of that, what would be your key assessments points?
There's been a drastic, I would say, improvement commercially. But there's been a deliberate drag back on professionalism, you know. But for who I am, it is not the monies that we can make that is my drive. My drive is my passion for the craft, you know. So I don't look at what we can make first. But there is no show without the business. That's what it's show business, isn't it? So comparing then and now, professionally it was better then.
Financially it's better today.
Now, you know, and people are beginning to realize that the act is not for dropouts or for, you know, the never do wells, you know, and I think we are beginning to get our opportunities when necessary and when it's important.
How is the industry responding to technology, particularly streaming platforms, and then some of the latest innovations in terms of equipment quality and all of that?
If you don't embrace it, you'll die. You know, so it's our oxygen. You know, that's what we have. That's why it was quickly embraced, and we're all, you know, actualizing, you know, the new things we're learning. You know, there are some, for instance, organizing the relevance of AI to filmmaking, and AGN has done something like that. You know, all the kids they are doing, they're, you know, integrating and reorientating our people in the new terms for the craft. You know.
So who would you say are your greatest motivators, your mentors in the industry, people you looked forward to both locally and on international stage?
I don't have anybody internationally.
Is there a reason for that?
I'm a complete Benin man, my brother. I'm 101% Benin man, and my craft is my craft, not Oyibo craft. If you see my style, my craft is not tainted by any influence, especially Oyibo influence. You know. I am first of all a Nigerian, and I try to, if I can't tell my story by myself, who will tell it for me? You know. So as for people I've looked at, my role models, so to speak, the first one will be Akin Kiru, late Akin Kiru, Yoruba man whose mother was Obamedu. One of the finest actors I have ever seen in my life. He was in that great Lambodo. Was one of the artists here who represented our state in the team for, and I was in that same production, but as a page boy in 1977.
Wow.
You know, Akin Kiru was one of the greatest actors Nigeria ever saw. Then of course Sam Loco, you know, and Ojeben, Cleophas Elegom, Amiwo's father in Port of Life.
Okay.
Those were thespians, my brother. They ate, drank, lived, slept, drama. You know, even Felix Ogi, Kasma Suleiman, you know. Then in the nowadays, RMD, my contemporary, another fine actor. It was here in Benin. My small cousin, Pedro Obaseki, was an inspiration. You know, he was the first person who made me play a clown, a village jester in The Prince. Somebody was the prince. And it was the first time I was playing that kind of role. I never believed I could carry it. You know. But he told me, "Pa, there is nothing you that I know cannot do." I said, "Clown, me." I've always thought myself a very serious actor. He said, "Pa, without knowing you are a comedian." You know. I was shocked at what I could, you know,
do with that character.
I was in a wild for months, for weeks, shooting, you know. And, you know, I think that was one of my best performances, I tell you, in this business. Then, you may think Pedro Obaseki is a young man. He's done everything in this industry, everything. Even for his young age. He's achieved everything. One of the best directors. Look at his play, his film, I mean, Eziza. There is no film like that in this country. And there's never been, and I don't think there will still be. Only my film, Ataparapa, and Jerome, I'm sure those are the ones that can match that. If not better it.
Okay.
You know, with technology.
With technology now, yes, which is available now.
Yes, you know. Then, of course, Lancelot. Boisterous young man, but he's a very together person. He loves his craft, and he does not shy away from talking about it and shouting from the highest mountains about it, you know. Otherwise, he's one of our best, and we have done well to support him. I think I've been in over 20 to 30 of his films.
Wow.
You know.
Wow.
And that is one way we can support ourselves.
Absolutely.
It's not the money.
Yeah.
It's not like me. I don't think, maybe one or two persons have paid me for acting for them. You know. I finish with you and walk away because I feel it's one way to encourage you. You know. It's not because I have too much, but it's one way. I didn't have anything to start this business.
People also supported you back then.
Yes, yes. So I don't see why I should stress or strain your pulse to make you achieve what you want to do.
Okay. What would you say are those values? Some of them you highlighted, but I just want us to talk a bit more about those values and virtues that you head on to that has kept you thus far in the industry, which I believe strongly our younger people, younger actors, actresses need to learn from.
First thing first is know who you are and believe in you. That's one. It's like the foundation. Know the talent you have. Know, you know, the strength of your talent.
Okay.
Then hone it properly. Because it's you. There shouldn't be shortcuts or cutting corners to it. You must go through the mill. That's the only way you can actually be, you know, when they say wet your whistle, that's the only way you can actually clean your pipe. Or like cleaning your lungs for fresh and clean breath, you know. Then two, you must be dedicated to the craft. Otherwise it will leave you. It's like a guitarist who leaves his guitar for 1 month. The guitar craft will leave you. To start again, you will learn, you start to learn
all over again.
That's how the art is. You must practice it every day. Whether you are alone, whether you are in a production situation. And don't let money be your focus. Don't let the glitz, the glamour be your focus. Otherwise you'll be a flash in the pan. It's like fashion. It has its season.
Yeah.
That's how it is. But if you are in for the craft, and you are an absolute practitioner of the craft, you may not have that kind of fame, but you will be there.
Consistently.
You will just be a necessary evil there.
I like that word.
People anybody who's coming to shoot anywhere will say, where is that leg?
Yeah.
Well, because you have made yourself relevant. You know, and don't ever go on set and be a problem.
What do you mean by that?
You know, some people come and they come with all sorts of excuses, especially if they are collected monies. You know, he will know that he's having another shoot in 5 days' time.
He will collect the money.
He will collect the money And 3 days to the 5th day, he starts to give you problem with, I'm not well, my mother is in the hospital. You know those kind of excuses, you know. You may get away with it first, second time. But you may not have another job from that same
Because that would be people's perception of you, and then they use it against you.
So we try, you know, we follow that, our slogan that says the show must go on.
Go on.
You know, so whatever. I pulled a tooth. I pulled a tooth to go on the set.
Wow.
I was on set when my immediate elder brother died. I finished. I didn't talk.
That's commitment, dedication to the contract, to the craft, just like you said.
You know, and the minute you can have that dedication to the craft, the sky will just be your threshold.
Okay. As we round up now quickly, what should we expect from you? What do you have?
In the pipeline?
Yes, in the pipeline. What are you doing? Do you still act? Do you still shoot? Do you still produce? Do you still direct? And when you look back, how many movies would you give credit to as your personal production?
Whoa. Movies. Maybe like my personal movies. Maybe like 47, 48.
Wow, that's huge.
Then I produced for others about 50 something.
That's huge.
You know.
That's
right
huge.
now, we are starting a new phase of filmmaking.
Why do you say new phase?
Because it's not what we have been doing or what we did before now. It's completing the movie and then animating the movies. You know, it's a new deal we are starting with the Chinese.
Okay.
And we are starting with our own stories, epic stories. You know, Joromi, Kwase, what do you call it? Atakparakpa, Ise Nazoloa, then Nekidi, you know, those
movies on way back, yeah.
You know, so that's what we are doing. All the scripts already. We are doing our crossing our teeth and dotting our eyes.
Okay.
By tomorrow, Pedi is starting his own, the cartoon version of Ikoka. Tomorrow. You know, and I'm playing with him, you know.
Okay.
So he's the director, I'm just an actor.
Okay,
That's
that's it.
But I'll be there tomorrow, and I think it will take some deal of this week for that.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
So that's where we are. So right now, I have 2 films to release in the next couple of days.
Interesting.
You know, Mother Dearest and A Woman of Virtue.
You know, we're back to the theaters. I mean, the return of theaters.
Yeah.
How is that adding value to the industry?
Well, it should add value because it's a plus.
But it looks like it's not adding value from that.
Because that's why I said we have no actors anymore. The crop of actors we have now don't know stage. And they are not interested because there's no glamour, there's no gliss. And according to them, no money. You know, so glamour, gliss, fashion, and money is their push.
Okay.
Only very few actors like myself, Tuti Negiabi, Adjo Sawaru, Uniso Morigi, Cliffy Binovia, Sonny Duboy, and a few others. Elia Abaseki, Jennifer Abaseki, you know, those are the ones who have the, you know, the drive for, or the passion for stage, you know. And of course, what do you call this girl? Peace Osawayi. Call them anytime. They prefer the stage to movies. Ameze Okponu.
Okay.
You know, these are fantastic stage actors who are ready to work anytime.
Okay, but we've seen a lot of movies going to theaters, not necessarily the stage kind of theater. We've seen that. I mean, for a while, it was more of the stage, but we're seeing movies going to theater, people going. How is that adding value to the system today?
It's one of the distribution windows.
Okay.
For filmmaking.
Okay.
You know, and we have embraced that a long time. I have had 3 films that have gone to the cinemas and theater.
So how do you see yourself in the next 5 years, 10 years? So maybe if I ask this, how old are you today? Or are you,
I'm near 60. I'm near 70 than 60.
Wow, you don't look it more big. So what's the secret?
Just mind your business.
Wow.
Don't interfere in other people's matter.
Wow. No, if you tell somebody you're 50, I'm sure they'll believe you without even.
Don't reduce my market value. So let's keep it like that. You know. So where do I see myself in another 5 years? I think I'm slowing down on acting. I want to concentrate on producing and directing.
Okay.
You know, and I'm not getting any younger. So I'll be selecting roles to play these days, you know. I can't be playing all that daga I used to do, you know. So I play King.
No, you can still play Liverpool. I mean, with this look that you've got.
Well, it will be a one-off thing. Nobody can call me a Liverpool anymore.
Anyways, it was a delight having you here on the show. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. My guest has been Chief Harry Yobosa Legema, veteran Nollywood actor, producer, director, script writer, everything Nollywood. Hall of Fame Nollywood. Legend Nollywood. Former president of Association of Movie Producers in Edo State. Oh, still chairman. Okay, interesting. Anyways, thank you so much for the impact that you've made. We wish you the very best as you look to the next decade of your craft. Thank you. And that's our package today on the program, Icons. We hope you had a great time watching. Be sure to join us when we'll bring you a fresh episode of the program. And I'm Sonny Duke Okosun, thanking you for staying with us. Bye for now.
ITV, certainly the best.
ITV, certainly the best.
Ugeni Madonna, Imazedion, Orebo, Obesni Agbo, Emanazo, or Ugeni Madonna.
You will have to serve the community for 30 years before you come to this stage. They will ordain you ordain title. Then by then you are one of the elder.
This year now, we don't read the year, so that's why we can do this year.
Historically, joining the Elders Council, an individual must have reached a certain age and must have made significant contributions to the community through leadership, service, or other meaningful ways. There was jubilation in the community as sons and daughters of Okada, both at home and in the diaspora, trooped out to be part of the ceremony with various hymns of the initiates agog with festivities. Friends and well-wishers of those initiated into the Elders Council jubilated at the Ogwedion after performing all traditional rites. The elders, known as Edion, in company with their loved ones, danced to their various homes where guests and family members were entertained.